we always want to have multiple exit strategies when you go into a deal. Never just for one exit strategy, because if you just have one, you're done. So and two is is few. So you got to have three or more.
Do you have the people you're working with already, or are you always looking to bring in new people that you would work with on the real estate investing?
The investors, we have to have the deals in the pipeline. So right now, we only have enough deals for what we have right now with investors that we have right now. When we're going to bring on a new investor, we actually have to start the pipeline for that amount of funding, because if somebody gives me $5 million, I can't guarantee them anything right now because I don't have any deals in the pipeline for that specific $5 million. So we actually have to have deals coming in so we can deploy that cash out, because just sitting in the bank, it's not doing us anything. The bank's not giving us any interest. The investor wants money, wants return. So a cart, is before the horse, right? So we got to have the deals. So usually we max out about 10 to 12 investors. We can't do any more than that. I'm not set up to do any more than 10 to 12.
Is that hard to? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Is that hard to structure? Because when the deal comes through, it's like usually you got to move pretty quick. So is it hard to keep both of those in balance as far as having the right amount of investors for the right amount of deals that are coming through?
Yeah, I think that's like the catch of all business, right? Like if you have plenty of customers but not enough product, you have plenty of product but not enough customers. I think that's the dance that we play as entrepreneurs or business owners, right? Like VAs in the Philippines, there's tons of people over there that can work, but then and people over here that want it, but you're the middleman going, okay, I got to get the clients to get these people, but I got to get these people to get the clients. I can get 50 people that need a VA, but if I don't have the VAs to take care of them, so that's probably where you come in, right, Mark?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where the middleman, you're the facilitator to some degree, working these deals and managing these deals and all that. There's a lot of value in that because you're making people money, and then you're taking your piece in there as well. Do you? I'm curious. I mean, I have so many questions about, when it comes into this, because I really don't know this area. But obviously, buying big tracts of land, breaking them into smaller pieces, that's one thing, right? Like you talked about that. Buying a property, doing forced depreciation, and then either selling that off or renting it, or buying whole, whatever that can be. What's something else? What's your favorite way of making money in this space right now?
Ooh. My favorite?
Yeah.
That's like saying, what's your favorite ice cream? It's Rocky Road.
It could be right now. What's your favorite right now?
Right now is the creative financing deals where, so the seller financing deals where we're able to turn that seller financing deal into a wrap. So we arbitrage. We get the seller financing at 3%, then we sell it off at 9.99%. So we're making 7% or 6.99% on money, and we're selling it at a rate that larger than what, or for a price larger than what we bought it at. So we're making interest on money that
you created out of thin air.
This is
I've got
no, it's just
becoming we're becoming the federal bank.
Becoming the bank.
Basically.
Well, when it comes to creative financing, because the thing with creative financing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in order to sell or finance something, you can't have like an existing mortgage, or you have to play it very delicately with that, because
if you have an existing mortgage, it would be a wrap. If
it would be a wrap.
You're wrapping
exactly,
that
and there's some risk in that. But to convince someone to creatively finance the deal instead of just here's the lump sum the way you would traditionally. It's a different type of relationship than just coming in and saying, I'm going to give you 10% down and finance the rest, and you're going to get all of it at once. What is the process that you use to go out and form these relationships that make creative financing an option?
That's a great question. It's a dance again, because a lot of the times you're having to explain. So if the property, the sellers already have representation, legal representation, either law or an attorney or an agent, broker, you're actually having, most of the time, because the market's been so hot for so long, you're having to train or teach, instruct the listing agent all about the different terminology and walk them through and show them the benefits. You're, instead of getting $90,000 cash right now, I can give you, or $100,000 cash. I can give you, $250,000 over the years. And most people are like, what? Wait, what? Right? So you're actually having to instruct them. And then the relationship, it's a dance, and you have to, it's negotiation skills. It's basically delivering certainty that what you're offering is beneficial to them. And then also, because we're so creative, we could do more than one type of deal. We can do a straight note. Like if somebody wants some crazy amount for their house, like, okay, we'll give you that amount, but we're going to do this a straight note, so no interest.
Yeah.
And most people would say, well, why would they accept that? Well, they want that amount. Some people are just stuck on price.
Super fixated on the value of the home.
When they're super fixated on the price, that's what they want. I showed you one not too long ago. It was like a great deal. And he said, I want to pay this much for this type of property. And I brought him a property that's $400,000 more than what he wanted to spend, but the payment was the same as the other one because of creative structuring. So he's basically over time going to pay the same amount for a $900,000 property that he would pay right now for a $530,000 property because of interest rate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of other things that you can negotiate on beyond price. So there's interest rate, the payment amount. What are some of the other key parts of a deal you would negotiate to overcome a price objection like that?
The duration of the note. How
Yeah.
long, how the course of, how long it's going to take them to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can mitigate. Some people want a property somewhere else, and you might have access to a property somewhere else. So it's kind of like part money, part exchange. Sometimes people want a certain amount, and you don't know how to do it. So what I love to do, actually, this will get me in. A lot of people are like, I want to do that. If you have somebody that you want to develop their property, but you don't have the $1 million to put the deal together, you put the deal together, and then you do elongated escrow period, and you do all your dirt work, you do all your replat and all your surveying, all your engineering before you even close on the original deal. And then, a few days before the replat's finished, you close on the deal, and then you have, let's say that $1 million is only out of your pocket or out of your investor's pocket for a few weeks. Because as you're doing the replat, you're getting everything lined up. At the same time, you're selling the finished product, the finished plats to future buyers.
Yeah.
So then you close the deal, you're out $1 million for a few weeks, and then they close their deals, and you turn that $1 million into $2 million or that $1 million into $3 million.
Yeah, this is the game they should be teaching people in school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
No, there's so much opportunity out there. It's wild.
How to make money out of thin air. Be creative. You know what I mean?
'cause-
Not printing your own money. Not saying that. We're
That's the
talking about
thing.
just being creative and coming up with ways to earn income.
And usually they're win-wins. Everybody wins in a lot of these.
That's the best way to do it. You can sleep at night. Everybody's happy. You don't have to hide in the grocery store. It's a good thing.
And I think people, they get excited. They'll read, who here has read Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the
It's an
quadrant.
amazing. It changed which
Cash flow
house I bought,
quadrant.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but they see that, and a lot of people read it. And he wrote that book, however many years ago,
yeah.
back when a down payment on a house was $4,000 to $5,000 instead of 20 to 30. If you're putting 20% down, and they think, oh well, I don't have the 20% down. It's not that easy anymore. What would you say to someone who is getting into the world of real estate and they don't have the 20 to 30 grand cash at hand?
Get a great mentor and then work with that mentor, and they'll show you how to do it. There's so much information. I get calls all the time from investors that want help. And oh my gosh, how do I shut
busy.
that thing off? and they want help, or they're new investors and they spend hours. I'm like, listen, you got to get somebody to work with. But they're so afraid of getting somebody to work with, and I don't know why. Usually they're thinking that they have a mentality of lack. There's not enough deals out there. Well, I think there's enough deals for everybody plus some, right? So the object is obviously get a mentor. And then the few things, if you don't have enough money down, what do you have? Do you have cash flow? Do you have people that want to help you buy the property? Do you have maybe a couple partners going on a property together? And then, that's.
It only limits your imagination and how you use those connections.
Yeah, so tell me about short sale. What's a short sale?
Oh, short selling is selling short of what's owed. So that's a great thing. That's becoming more prevalent right now. It was huge from 2005 end of 2005 into 2009, 2010. It's where, let's say, most people don't know that they can actually owe more than the property's worth. But when the market's going back down the other way, you bought the house last August. I have a deal bought last August, 309,000. Now he bought a new house. That was a brand new house, and the builder is now building those same houses and selling them for $275,000. So now he's at $35,000 plus he spent $9,000 in closing costs. So he's $45,000 underwater right off the bat. So a short sale is basically where you owe more. I'm sorry, I went a little ahead of myself. A short sale is where you owe more than it's worth. So let's say you were an FHA buyer, you bought it for 309, you only put a few percent down. So your loan balance is $300,000, and then you want to sell it today. Well, those same houses in that neighborhood are going for $275,000. You're $25,000 underwater. Plus, you have the selling costs, you have the title insurance, escrow costs, commissions. Brokers have to pay, and agents have to get paid because we have fees that are due to us by us to the state. So we have to negotiate with the bank to accept a short payoff. And people are like, well, why would they do that? Well, it's better for them to take a short payoff now than to take back a property that's trashed or maybe it takes them, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. So that's another $20,000 of payments that they're underwater. So it's better for them to be proactive in the short sale process. I actually started a company, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, transaction coordinating for short sales only here in Texas. Am I allowed to say that? Okay, so basically what we do is if you guys say okay,
No.
we
for
basically
us.
handle all the transactions for short sales, so it's free to the agents. The banks will actually,
great.
I know banks will actually pay us for our negotiations. Why would they do that? Because they know that paperwork takes a lot, and they
Going
want to
through
get the
foreclosure
deal.
process takes a lot.
Yeah, so
I
it's
was gonna
better for
say.
them to do that than what, and then basically we're in there and we create a win-win situation for the agents, for the homeowners, for the buyers or the investor buyers, and it's a great deal.
Well, that's the thing with short sales. When I was an agent, I had a couple people, I even tried to buy a short sale once. And the thing is, it takes forever. You are, as soon as you turn in the paperwork, it goes to the bottom of their pile and they work their way through at their pace. So I would always tell my clients, it's going to be probably minimum 6 months before you close on this house. Are you okay with that? And every person that ever went under contract on a short sale with me got impatient and they bailed out before it got to closing because it really does take forever. So having that other line of communication I could see would be a huge value add.
Can you speed that process up?
There are certain things that we can do to alert the bank, especially if there's something serious that might happen. But usually it is about 6 months. On average, 5 to 7 months. I have done some that took 2 years, and the whole time the homeowner's not paying. So it's in the bank's best interest to take the deal as soon as possible.
Right. I don't understand why they'd be dragging their feet. Is it
Because-
the bank that's dragging their feet?
Yeah, because we've been usually it's a servicing company. So most people don't know that the backside bank that actually holds the note is not actually servicing the debt. It's an intermediary, and they have a specific, I had this happen on that 24-month deal. They have a specific amount of criteria that they have to check off. And I'm like, hey, you guys, you're somebody's not getting it here. We've delivered everything. Like, no, sir, you haven't. And we had to keep on resubmitting. And finally they came, like, oh, we do have everything. And that was a 7-month.
I just imagine giant stacks of paperwork next to whoever runs short sales, and they're just like, I'll grab this one.
That to me, that's not right. It's something taking that long to go through. Why is that not 30 days?
Well, it's a bad business model from their part too.
Yeah.
They're losing money every
That's
There's
single
an
what I'm
area of
saying.
opportunity.
Yep.
Someone to
There's-
service short sales for banks.
They just need people to go in and take care of that paperwork.
move it
stuff.
along. They should be the
gosh.
ones reaching out to you to move the
Oh,
process
they should
along,
be
not
trying
the
to
other way.
Yeah,
Because
you'd
the
think
faster
that.
it turns around, the more money they make on. I mean, they're not making money in the first place.
Yeah, most
So-
people don't know that the banks are already leveraged. We have this fractional reserve type of debt system where, if they do a loan of $300,000, they may have only had $3,000 in the bank in their vault to cover that $300,000. The other $297,000 is covered by the Fed on the back end. So if they take a loss of anything more than $3,000 on that debt, then let's say $30,000, that wipes away 10 loans of money of reserve. And if you have it anything more than $3,000 is nothing. Most, and some it's even gone negative. How do they do that? Because they like arbitrage off an arbitrage off an arbitrage. So they do, and it just goes negative. I don't know exactly how it works because I'm on a banking system, but it's a little scary. So they don't want to take the debt back. So that's why you find banks that will hold off 2, 3, 4, 5 years from taking a house back, because they know the day that they take that back, actually, you have to do mark to market. So if they take it back and hold it in their coffers, they can say it's worth whatever they say it's worth.
Okay.
If the loan balance is $400, but the actual value of the house is $200, they'll say, "Oh yeah, we're taking back a $400,000 asset. We'll put it on our books as a $400,000 asset. We only owe $200,000. Oh, good. Well, actually, it's if they sell it on the courthouse steps that day, they have to take the loss. That's why a lot of banks don't even. They're like burying their head. I don't know if you guys go on foreclosure.
The motive.
Have you guys gone to foreclosure sales lately? Last one I went to, 10% of the banks showed up.
Wow.
Of all the foreclosures, 10% of the trustees showed up to sell those properties.
So what does that mean for the ones that didn't show up?
They're just kicking the can down the road.
Another month, another 2 months.
Yep.
Wow. They're hiding. They're hiding the money.
Yeah, he's just.
They're hiding the debt, maybe, or they're hiding the risk or something.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're trying to push, and it's like a what's whatever that game is where they're just hiding things on their paper.
Oh, the shell game.
Yeah,
They're playing the shell game.
I'm gonna put some under here.
All right, well,
some under here.
We great discussion. There's so much, more that can be unpacked there, but I appreciate that. So if folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Probably Instagram is the easiest. JMichael Jeffords.
Oh, on the gram. What about you, Keaton?
That's great. Well, I wish I could say on the gram too, but definitely our website, txsuits.com, or via our phone, 210-503-2800.
All right, as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder for our to catch our latest podcast and catch video version of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for us. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.
You too.
job.
Thanks for having us.